genre.
Doctor Who, The Long Way Round, the weekly podcast where we review, discuss, and recap every episode of Doctor Who, one doctor at a time. I'm Scott Corelli.
I'm Cassandra Fredrickson.
And I'm Nick Jimenez.
And today on the show, we're going to be discussing the Christmas Invasion, the 10th Doctor's first story. However, we have a little news to cover, as it seems.
I'm pregnant.
Unfortunately, Nick is pregnant, and also we recorded our last week's episode before the announcement came out, even though the episode was released after the announcement. So we're like a week behind on this news. So everyone, sorry about that.
Thanks, BBC.
Yeah, but so last Saturday it was announced that the show is getting a new companion in the form of Pearl Mackie as a character named Bill. And I was really impressed by her in the scene that they made, the little short
so they
film.
so they did a short this time.
Yeah.
That's the first time they've done this. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, totally, for the very first time. Yeah.
It was a really interesting way to do it, I thought.
Well, it is, and it's also a thing where this is the first time since Martha that we've gotten a new companion that wasn't either synced up with a new doctor or having a weird backstory. So, like,
yeah, those are the only two similarities, actually.
Yeah, because you had Donna, and you'd already had her introduction previously.
Yeah, totally.
So that was a weird companion because it was like a returning person to become a full companion. Then you had Amy, who was coming at the same time as a new doctor, so they couldn't do anything like that for them. Although I think they still did shoot that weird thing where they were like looking at the stars on the hill, and then they fell. The Earth cracked open and they fell through the thing. Anyway.
Oh God, I remember that. Wow.
Yeah. So Amy was synced up with a new doctor, so that was weird. And then they couldn't do Clara that way because Clara's whole introduction was bizarre.
Yeah, Oswin and then like Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Right. She was introduced twice before she was properly introduced.
Man, they did not do Jenna Coleman any favors.
No, they didn't. But I really like. It just feels really refreshing that we're just getting a new companion, and it just occurs to me that I feel like I don't think I felt like this in a long time, like this feeling of having a new companion, since Martha, because that was the last time that I was like, oh, I wonder what this person's going to be like.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we had that cool, I remember the last time this happened when it was, you had Jenna Louise Coleman and you had like that, really cute picture of her like in the sweater by the TARDIS, and you're like, oh, cool, new companion. And then, she showed up inside of, literally inside of a Dalek. And, although that wasn't the name of that episode, never mind. And then
Asylum of the Daleks.
Yeah, Asylum of the Daleks. And then I just, every time I think of that, I'm like, it could have been called All of the Daleks.
It should have been.
Yeah, but now there could be another episode called that.
That's true.
But yeah, and and then that was weird, but yeah, no, it's really cool, and I do like the extra pomp and effort of like doing a little mini-sode instead of just like the traditional photo of like the Doctor and the companion in front of the TARDIS, which they did as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, do we want to like talk about that little video I know there's like barely anything to talk about, but like what were you all's impressions of that little video?
Cass?
The first thing that struck me about her, is her hair is amazing, and she's also incredibly funny. And like, I don't know how much of, like, obviously it was scripted, but I don't know like how much of it was like improvised, or how much of that was like just Moffat writing a thing and it's just like, okay, say the lines. So I'm really excited because I really like, I got like a Donna 10 vibe, like,
Yeah.
yeah, like they're gonna be BFFs and it's gonna be awesome, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, and so a little bit about Pearl Mackie. I'm like everyone. I've never seen her before, but she is currently on the West End's production of A Curious Incident of the Dog at Nighttime, which is like one of the more celebrated West End shows in like recent memory. And I have a few friends of mine that like personally saw it and said that it was like life changing. So like girls got the chops, and yeah, and there's just a lot that I just like so much about. There's so much I like about this decision, like, like it's really cool to have a companion who's like not white and like, and I like that she's, just from the rapport and just like her style and just like from what I'm getting from her character. I like that it's not a companion who is like, immediately like sexualized. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
She feels to me a little bit, I mean, if I'm going to compare her to any of the modern companions, she feels their relationship and her specifically. I know you said 10 and Donna, but I actually get a 9 and Rose vibe from them. Where there is no sexual tension between them. They're just buds. And she is like really cool and like can point out things, and she laughs about.
But not in a like I'm over it kind of way. She was just like genuinely like, wait, why do they have suckers?
Right. Yeah. Totally. And she laughs about it a little bit, but he takes it really seriously, and she's just like, "Oh, okay, I'll shut this down. Never mind."
It's kind of like I'm getting kind of like a Merlin and like Wart kind of like thing, like a Magician's Apprentice sort of thing.
Yeah. I really dug her vibe. I hate that her character's name is Bill. I think that's going to be forever annoying. I was really excited when it said introducing Pearl Mackie, and I was like, what a great name for a companion.
Yeah, Aww. Totally. Me too.
I was like, Pearl Mackie, fantastic name, as Bill. And I was like, what? Bill? I mean, I don't even know, like, what is that short for? Is like Billy with an IE? Is that?
It's unheard of.
I don't know. It just feels a little like
quirky.
Yeah, like that really annoying thing that where like Kevin Williamson in like the 90s and early 2000s, like everything he wrote had a girl with a guy name in it.
Yeah.
And Brian Fuller did the same thing. Although for some reason Brian Fuller gets a pass. I don't know why. It was less annoying when he did it.
Chuck is amazing. That's why.
Yeah, it was less annoying when
it feels natural. It feels a little bit more natural in Pushing Daisies and Wonderfalls.
Yeah. This doesn't feel natural to me. Like I don't know what Bill is short for.
Well, maybe we'll find out. Something? Maybe it's short for like Billamina.
Billamina.
Yeah. What if her name's like Wilhelmina or something, and she's just like, Bill.
Call me Bill.
Yeah, maybe.
I like her smile. She looks animated. She looks like a cartoon character in a really cool way.
Yeah, totally. The real question I have, though, God, they look really good together too, don't they?
They really do.
The real question I have, though, is when was this short shot? Because she's wearing a Prince shirt, and that's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, that's
if
spooky.
That's just a coincidence. That's insane.
Yeah,
I bet they shot. I mean, they had to have shot it like at least like a week before it aired.
Maybe. I mean, because there's no special effects in it.
There's a Dalek.
The Dalek's not a special effect. The Dalek is the opposite of a special effect.
There's some like explosions and like some sparky sparks.
Yeah, but all of that stuff, you're just talking about practical effects that you shoot in camera.
Okay, so there's no CG effects, is what you're saying.
No, there's no post-production effects on this other than like your normal like color grading and obviously like text stuff.
Probably some ADR.
Yeah, probably a little bit of ADR. But like, if you say like, hey, we need the next 48 hours or you're all ours,
Mm-hmm. I bet it's I would bet money that it's just a really spooky coincidence.
Maybe. It's a really spooky coincidence, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is Prince. I mean, like, we were talking about Prince, like, the day before he died on Back to the Future.
Yeah, that's true. We were. Yeah, well.
Yeah, hey, Prince died, by the way, guys.
If you haven't heard in the past, like, week and a half. Yeah, she's really cool. And I'm really excited to figure out her story. But I will say, as excited as I was getting this clip, that dialogue, just that one line of dialogue just felt like a shot to the gut, where the doctor is just like, we have to go back. 2017 needs us. And I was like, 2017.
Well, Scott, the line was, we have to go back
to the
where?
Future.
To the future.
Yeah.
And I was like, I see you. I see you, Doctor Who.
It was a bummer.
So is it probably going to be like, what, the autumn of 2017? Like the fall of 2017?
No,
I hope not. It better be spring.
That's when 11th Hour premiered.
In spring?
Yeah, I remember the spring of 2009.
Yeah, it was like April of 2010.
Because I was like, Black President, weird-looking doctor. Let's do this.
I don't know why those two things are connected.
Because Obama had just been elected.
Like 2 years previously.
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
is the new doctor.
Was it 2010?
Yeah, April 2010.
I thought it was like 2009. I guess I was just still hyped on Barack Obama.
All right. Yeah, so I'm bummed that her name isn't Pearl Mackie because that's an amazing name. Pearl Mackie has an amazing name.
How great would it be if she played like a young actress working in London named Pearl Mackie? And then like, I'm late. I've got to be in the Curious Incident of the Dog at night time. It's like, no, come with me on an adventure.
That's the other reason why I think that they turned this around really fast is because she's in that play that probably is like every day,
Oh, that's true.
So they probably had to like just take 2 days away from the play.
Yeah.
And I would imagine her producers at the play were just like, okay, well, if we're going to do it in a row.
Yeah. Maybe just her understudy went on that day.
Right.
And I'm a little bit behind on my West End gossip, but I want to say that play is, if not closed, it knows that it's going to close this year because it's going to defect to Broadway next year.
Oh.
And probably with obviously with at least one new cast member, But,
yeah.
And the other thing that's really exciting is that when I look at Pearl Mackie, I'm like, yeah, Pearl Mackie looks great with Capaldi, but you know who'd she look even better with? A female doctor.
And that's what they're setting up.
Yep. Like I could totally see her. Like I can see them setting up the idea that the next doctor is going to be female.
Yeah,
like I can just feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
Just two dope queens running the TARDIS.
Yeah. Totally.
They should get Jessica Williams as the doctor.
I wonder when they start shooting the new season. Because they've got to get that started fairly soon, probably by like before the end of the summer.
Yeah, probably. I bet they shoot like over. I mean, that's assuming that they are planning to come out in the spring.
Mm-hmm. That's true. God, I hope so. I wonder if she's going to be introduced in the Christmas special this year.
I hope so. I don't like solo Christmas specials. I'm beginning to learn.
Yeah, they're not as fun.
Well, like, I don't know if that's why I don't like them. The ones that don't have companions are the ones I tend not to like as much.
Mm-hmm.
Although cool.
It'd be really cool if he got a new companion during a Christmas special, because that's never really happened before.
Yeah, and and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, but there's just something about a Christmas special that's just the perfect time to like do something new.
Mm-hmm. Pearl Mackie also reminds me of the comic book companions that they've been doing lately.
Oh, I don't read those.
Oh, they're good. They're really good. The Titan Comics Doctor Who books are really fantastic.
I'm trying to cut down, Scott.
Yeah, no, I understand. But they're really phenomenally well done, and the companions are all exclusive to the comics companions.
Okay, cool.
With the exception being the Ninth Doctor book, because he doesn't really have a choice.
Sure. There's only so much room you can do with that.
Yeah. But the cool thing about that book, though, is that they don't just do Rose; they do Rose and Jack. So that's cool.
Oh, cool.
She reminds me of like one of the companions in those books. You should read the 10th Doctor's book, Nick. He's got this like cool American Latina woman who's like his companion.
Don't you pander to me.
Yeah, no, but she's cool. I'm not pandering. Just saying.
No, yeah. I'll have to pick
Still
that
no
up.
Asians though, eh?
Yeah, still no Asians. That's I was, it was funny is it's weird that we're talking about Christmas Invasion today, eventually when we get to it.
Sure.
But because when they introduced her, because they introduced her in like the most dramatic way, like of her like backing up,
Right.
Yeah. I was like, I as soon as I saw her, and I was just like, still not Asian, just like still not ginger, still not Asian.
Man,
there was a mild disappointment when I first saw her, because I had a feeling that she wasn't going to be white, but I was hoping she would be like not black either.
Well, I remember there was
just because I shouldn't say just had, because it was like literally like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? We had Martha, and we've had a bunch of white people since then. So it's like, it's good that we're getting a person of color. It would have been nice to have a little more variety than just like black or white,
But, yeah, and like I just really like that she looks like she's like in an improv troupe. You know what I mean? Like she looks she looks like a friend that I would have. I like that for the first time in, since Donna, we have a companion. No disrespect to Karen Gillan, and absolutely no disrespect to Jenna Coleman, but it is nice to have a companion that doesn't look like an Urban Outfitters model.
It's true. It's true. She looks like she would just be like hanging out on Broad City or something.
Yeah, I'm getting like a very like broad. By the way, next time, like both of them, Abby, Alana, Bevers.
As companions.
As companions, yeah, that'd be amazing. With Capaldi.
Oh, man.
Hannibal Buress would also be a great companion, I think.
Hannibal Buress would be like the best companion. Because Hannibal Buress is just the best at everything.
Why? Why are we... What do you mean? What do you mean we're going back in time?
What's that over there?
Have you seen the one where Alana has sex with Blake Griffin? And
I've seen all of them, so presumably.
So it's like, oh, how is I forgot Hannibal's name in the show. Lincoln. It's like, how's Lincoln doing with you having sex with Blake Griffin? Like, oh, he loves it. And then it cuts to him buying a hot dog, and he's wearing Blake Griffin's shoe like a purse. Like, this is Blake Griffin. This is Blake
and
Griffin's
then the next time you see him, he still has it.
We're Eskimo brothers.
He still has it like 3 episodes later.
He's just so
it's
proud.
just his man purse now. Oh my god, it's so good. Anyway,
Hey, are there Sherlock posters real that are like going around on Facebook? I can't tell anymore.
Sherlock posters?
Yeah, I saw on Facebook where it's like Sherlock in like Trafalgar Square, and there's like images of like Moriarty everywhere, and it's like hashtag Christmas Day or something. And I'm like, this looks fake as shit, but I don't know anymore.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but they are filming right now, so
somehow, gosh, when do any of those people sleep?
I mean, the secret I think is that they like genuinely love that show,
which is great.
So everybody just stops what they're doing to go work on it, which is cool. But like, and also like within reason, and the BBC are just like, look, as long as you give us something every couple of years, whatever, like it's fine. And so like everybody's super chill about it, and I think they all just like, yeah, no, let's definitely. I feel like they end and they're just like, okay, when can we do this again? And they're like, okay, 3 years from now, all right, great. And then they just set that in stone.
Go voice the Grinch.
Yeah, they go set that in stone, and then they move on. I don't know. I don't know.
I still haven't seen Abominable Bride.
It was really good.
I know. I own it. I bought it on iTunes. I just haven't watched it.
But yeah. So that's Pro Mackie. We do have The Class to look forward to. I don't think it has a premiere date yet, but when it does, we will watch it.
Is it The Class or Class?
Or yeah, Class. Just Class.
God, you have to. You can't. You have to. You can't just call it Class.
Sounds cool, but Class is like, oh, what?
Yeah. There was a really great sitcom like 10 years ago.
Yeah, there was with like Piz, right?
No.
Okay.
No, it had
Lizzie Kaplan.
Lizzie Kaplan, Jesse, what's his name from Modern Family, the redheaded guy?
Tyler Ferguson.
Yeah, Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and it had Jason Ritter and
someone from Veronica Mars, I want to say.
I don't remember. And John Bernthal, of all people.
Oh yeah, he was from Veronica Mars. The episode where Frank Castle was like hunting down Logan. You think you're better than me? I fought in Iraq.
You can't protect him, Veronica.
She's like chained to like a chimney. He's just pouring coffee out of a thermos. Now you're awake.
Oh my god.
God, give that guy an Emmy.
He's the best. I love him.
So good.
I really hope they announce a Punisher series soon.
Yeah.
Because I would watch the living crap out
of it. Okay. So we're just off the rails now, but I haven't spoken to you in a while. Okay. So I just finished Daredevil season 2 the other day. So season 3, whenever they do it, or like the Defenders. So they haven't done Bullseye yet, right?
Yeah, they're obviously saving it.
How great would it be if they got like Domo Gleason?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think Bullseye is Irish. He's only Irish in that weird movie because that was a choice made by.
They just let Colin Farrell use his real accent in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's weird. Him being Irish is such a part of the character for me. Maybe because I watched.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I never read him as Irish, like ever.
Okay.
I pretty sure, I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to be.
Okay. Well, that just makes me love the movie even more.
Yeah, right? Weird movies. All right, I guess we should talk about Christmas Invasion.
The year was 2006.
Actually, no, it was still 2005.
It was almost 2006.
That's true. Yeah, this is the Christmas special that started it all. There was never there was one weird Doctor Who Christmas special during the Hartnell years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, what was that like?
The Doctor talks directly to the camera and wishes everyone a happy Christmas.
Yeah,
that sounds terrifying.
It's in the middle of what's the 12 episode one? Dalek's Master Plan.
Dalek Master Plan.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. But yeah, so they've only ever done one Christmas special ever, and it was not well received.
No,
we gave the children nightmares,
and so they never did it again. And then when Russell T took over, I guess he just wanted to do a Christmas special, and
which is
it became
so
a
Russell
tradition.
T.
Yeah, and it just became a tradition, and I think that's kind of incredible, honestly.
Yeah,
because it feels so timeless already.
It just feels right.
Yeah.
Like I was like, yeah, Doctor Who at Christmas. That makes sense. And it's like, why? Why does that make sense?
Because they're both just designed to make children happy.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I think that's really cool. I also and it's a thing that I hope continues to be a tradition forever. Like I hope that a showrunner later on isn't like, let's not do that anymore, because that's stupid.
Yeah, and it's kind of a great little, it's almost like a great little, okay, so like, I call my parents every Sunday, you know? So even if I have a busy week and like I haven't had time to like talk to my mom or dad, I know that I'm going to call on Sunday, you know? So it's like, if there's ever like, like coming up now, if there's ever like a year where there just can't be any Doctor Who, it's like, well, at least we know we'll get like something on Christmas.
Yeah. Like 11 years, we're now 11 years into this, and I just like, they just came out with that 10th anniversary box set of all the Christmas specials.
Ooh.
So it's like all 10 of the Christmas specials.
Oh, good.
That exist currently. And that came out, and I was just like, man, we've been doing this for 10 years. Watching a new episode of Doctor Who on Christmas Day has been a tradition in my life for a decade now.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like there's been 10 of them, though. Like, maybe because I started watching it late, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's totally 10.
I think crazy. The first, that's my favorite episode of the show, by the way, Totally 10.
Totally 10.
Totally 10.
Why is he Irish?
It's Domhnall Gleeson. He's the 10th Doctor in this one. I'm trying to remember.
David Tennant as
Domhnall Gleeson. I'm trying to remember the first one that I saw on Christmas Day. I want to say, you know what? It was probably A Christmas Carol. I think that was the first one that I like, because that was when they started doing like day and date with the BBC.
Right. Yeah, I had discovered torrents by the time.
I didn't know. I didn't have.
Christmas Invasion came out. So I think Christmas Invasion was actually the first episode I didn't buy from that guy at the comic shop.
The creepy condescending guy.
Yeah, this was the first one where I was like, wait, torrents? That guy's been ripping me off.
Who told you about those?
Yeah. So I think this is the first one that I downloaded myself. And I know it's bad, but look, I bought the $90 box set when it came out.
Hey, if anyone wants to doubt your commitment to Sparkle Motion, you send them a picture of your freaking apartment.
Yeah, that's true. I have an entire. I don't think Cassandra's ever seen my Doctor Who shelf. I have an entire like DVD shelf that is literally nothing but Doctor Who stories. Like,
I'm gonna break into your apartment and steal them all.
I remember being so scared the first night that I stayed at your place when we were writing. I can't remember what it was we were even writing when I came over, but but yeah, like I slept on that air mattress in like the main room, and I like bumped my leg into, because you have a shelf of like figures and toys and like little
a shelf.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But the bottom one is all 11 doctors and the War Doctor, and
right.
So I like knocked it, and
I don't have 12 yet because they haven't made a 12 figure that I'm happy with yet.
One where he doesn't look like a gargoyle.
Well, because I always want them to be wearing the outfit that I love them the most in.
Like the hoodie and the shirt.
Yeah, so I want the hoodie and the shirt, and they haven't come out with that one yet. So,
he's just wearing his like weird, like evil, like jacket.
Yeah, and I'm not into. I'm with the shirt buttoned up all the way. I'm not super into that.
But so I knocked it over, and like I just hear all of the little men like fall over. I'm like, oh god damn it! And so I'm like trying to like put them all up as they were, like when I found them, and I couldn't find the War Doctor. And the next one,
he's always the one that gets lost, which is accurate to his character.
Aww.
Yeah. Hello.
Says Cassandra, who hates the War Doctor.
I know. Stop it.
Cassandra, your empathy is showing.
I know. Quiet. I'm thinking about how I haven't bought a Capaldi yet, and I really need to, because I have all 11 in a big TARDIS box. And
man,
that's what I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got that same thing, because every single one of them are in their most iconic outfit. It was perfect.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I was just like, wow, even 4, who had like, 17 different outfits, and he's wearing like my favorite one. And I was like, oh man, this is great.
Really? You wore a lot of different stuff?
Like different variations of the same thing. You
sure,
know,
but always
like,
the scarf.
Scarf like eats his face. Like it keeps getting longer and longer and longer.
Right.
But it reaches like
with every human life that he takes.
Yeah, pretty much.
With every drink he takes.
Oh no.
There's a mint julep waiting for you on the other
1
side.
centimeter.
The scarf's like it's like it's like wrapping around a person.
Oh man. So
trust in me. Trust in me. Close your eyes. Slowly coiling its way up a person.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so this episode opens on I think it's Christmas Eve, I think.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. And Jackie is decorating and Mickey is at the car shop where he works. And they both simultaneously hear the TARDIS engines, which
I call shenanigans.
Two things I love about that.
Yeah.
One, I love that they hear it and it's such a specific noise that they know exactly what it is and they go running, which I just think that's really cool. And yeah. I feel like they never did anything like that in Classic Who, really. Mm-hmm. They never like meta-gamed by saying like, oh, that sounds like a thing that something people would recognize, you know? Mm-hmm. And so like, I think that's a really cool thing for them to do. And I love that Mickey works like down the street.
Yeah, like their entire lives are like a block
apart.
Yeah, like 8 blocks.
Yeah. And then I love the idea that they hear the engines, which means that the TARDIS was landing, because then they come to where they heard it and it's gone, and then it like appears in the sky and crash lands. So I love the idea that the TARDIS landed fine and then freaked out. It just disappeared again and then crash landed for no reason.
Maybe it like landed like on a cat or something.
No.
No, because it would just be would it just be in the TARDIS?
Yeah, it would just be in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Would that'd be a really adorable way for the Doctor to have adopted a cat?
Yeah,
like the TARDIS just appears around a stray, and then the TARDIS just adopts the cat. Like
the cat. Well, then the cat like runs down a corridor, and then there's just no catching it.
Yeah, it's just like, guess you're mine now.
I'll call you Craig.
Yeah, I like that. So I have a question. So this could totally be me being a stupid American and not knowing the small details of like living in England. But you know, we as Americans know English people as saying Happy Christmas. And for all I know, they say both, and we all just think that they only do the one thing because that's how we think people in other countries work, is they only do one thing.
I think they do say both. Okay.
Because I put in my notes that when 10 comes out of the TARDIS and he's like, I had something important to tell you. What was it? Oh, yeah, Merry Christmas. And I was like, did he say a Merry Christmas? Because he's an alien, he doesn't know the nuances of how England says Happy Christmas and not Merry Christmas. And
maybe in Wales they say Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Because they weren't marketing it to Americans yet, right? Like,
right.
Yeah. So I guess they do say both.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, fair enough.
There's an American movie called Happy Christmas.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a Joe Swanberg movie with Anna Kendrick and
right. Yeah,
Melanie Linsky, greatest living actress.
Guys, I don't think stethoscopes work like that.
No. Oh, by the way, I love that Jackie stole a stethoscope.
Yeah.
Yeah. She just steals a stethoscope.
Oh, my friend left it. No, you stole it, Jackie.
But she puts it to one side of his chest to listen to one heart, and then the other side of the chest to listen to the other heart. And I'm just like, you would just hear both. It's a chest cavity. They're not in separate rooms. Like,
and I feel like that's what's happened in subsequent episodes when they're searching for the heartbeat of the Doctor, which is
they hear both.
Episode. Yeah, like dun.
Yeah. Well, and they did that. They did that in the Eighth Doctor movie.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't even know if this was like a callback or an in-joke, but I love that Jackie's like, oh, we should take him to the hospital. And Rose's like, are you kidding me? No. They'll tear him apart. I'm like, yeah, they will.
Oh, that's funny. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that is a reference to the Eighth Doctor movie. That's funny.
There's no way Russell T. Davis had seen that at that point.
Yeah, why wouldn't he have?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, because it was actually like a really big hit in England.
Yeah, it was a big hit. Yeah, of course. I really like the way that the Doctor regenerates in this show. I wasn't crazy about the Whiplash regeneration from 11 to 12, but I like, in general, I like the way that the regenerations work in New Who. I don't know how I feel about the regeneration, the excess regeneration energy. Like,
oh, you mean like the cosmic burps?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm crazy about the cosmic burps.
I don't know what they are. Like, I don't get. Is that just like leftover bits of Nine that are just not done being like?
I think it's just excess regeneration energy. Like the stuff that sprays out when he regenerates. Like, I think it's just excess.
Yeah. Like, what if a bird? It's like did it become another bird?
I don't know. It's weird. I'm not like a crow. I'm not super into it. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Maybe it's just setting up the hand bit.
Well, no, because Russell T isn't that kind of writer.
Sure.
So like oh wait, do you mean the hand bit in this episode, or do you mean the hand bit?
Yeah. Like
oh, okay.
When he gets
I thought you were talking about like the hand bit like 4 seasons from now.
Oh god.
No.
I was like, oh, definitely not.
Because like when he grows his hand back, they use like a similar like effect,
right?
Of like the wispy gold stuff.
Well, the wispy gold stuff is the stuff that sprays out of him when he regenerates.
Yeah,
like when 9 regenerated into 10 and then 10 into 11. That's the same thing happens, but
right.
And then didn't 11 like shoot it out of his hands?
They both did.
On Night of the Doctor, when he's like taking down those spaceships, isn't he?
Oh, you mean Time of the Doctor?
Yeah, Time of the Doctor.
He does, and it de-ages him, which is a whole other weird thing that I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go with it.
Yeah,
but
if
I don't like
the
it.
show doesn't have to end. Cool.
I don't like it. I like to think that Capaldi is only old because Matt Smith wanted to look young for a little while.
Oh, yes.
And the regeneration was just like, oh, you want to look young? Well, too bad.
Am I old? Yeah, you're old jerk. You didn't want to regenerate for like an extra century.
What are your feelings on the regeneration energy, Cass?
I don't know. I never really thought about it. It's just like, oh, it's Doctor Who. There goes his energy into the space because that's what this show does.
Okay.
Because, like,
I guess you started here and not with Classic Who, so that makes sense. Yeah. So if anything, the Classic Who probably feels like it's missing this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it just
that's how I feel.
It like morphs and then the face changes and I'm like, oh, where's all the sparks and stuff?
Right.
Yeah, there's so much good stuff in New Who that I assumed was always part of the show, but are now being proven wrong.
Definitely not. I'd be into that as like if they special edition Classic Who the way that they did like Star Trek the original series and like updated some of the special effects and stuff.
Ooh, like the way they did with Kinda.
Yeah. I'd be cool if they did that with the regeneration stories to like just sort of like bring them together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And let's just go ahead and cut out the stupid cocoon dude.
Yeah, the Watcher, whatever.
Yeah,
but the thing about Doctor Who, okay, so like Star Trek, so like, you know, a scene of Star Trek is like, you know, Enterprise and then cut to the bridge, or like planet, cut to the planet, you know, and then because I think I don't know what edition, but I know like some form of the revised editions are what's on Netflix, you know. So like when I watch Star Trek on Netflix, there's like, you know, new Enterprise, not like ping pong Enterprise. But I feel like Doctor Who, you would just have to do a complete rehaul.
To a certain extent, I think that's true.
All jank.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
I mean, are they going to like add, like, are they going to paste over like the blanket that is a planet, like to make it look like?
I mean, that's what they did. That's what they did on Star Trek.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm not saying that they absolutely should. I'm just saying like it would be really cool if they redid all the regenerations into the new Who style, just to like fit them together, I guess.
Yeah.
I know people have done it on YouTube. There's like YouTube compilations of all the regenerations, and they're all reanimated into that style.
See, I would love to see new episodes of Who, but like with the old Cybermen.
I am dying for that. Are you kidding?
I'm just dying for a good Cyberman episode again.
Yeah.
Because there have been one.
Which one was that?
I don't know. I assumed that there's been at least one.
Yeah, so Mickey, in typical annoying Mickey fashion, Rose is really worried about the Doctor because she doesn't understand what's happening to him, and
why is he more handsome?
Well, she just doesn't. She doesn't get it. He's like not waking up, and so she's worried, and she's talking about how she's worried about her friend. And Mickey's just like, "Oh my God, stop talking about your dying friend. This is about me." It's
Christmas.
The most annoying. Oh God, it's so annoying.
You really do love him, don't you? Yes.
Oh, Mickey's the worst.
Oh.
Mickey's the worst.
I'm
He's
glad
so
his hair like
self-centered.
started perfect.
Yeah. Oh, he's the worst. So I want to talk about the Santas and the Christmas tree because I've never really thought about them critically.
Oh, why wouldn't you? Yeah.
I've never thought about them critically before, but watching it this time, I was like, why are they a thing?
It's weird. Like it's such a memorable image, you know, like I feel like whenever they show like montages of the show, they always cut to like, oh, the creepy like plastic Santas, you know what I mean, from the Christmas invasion. They are in like 2% of this episode.
Yeah. And they're the ones controlling the Christmas tree, and so and both of these things happen in like a 5-minute period of time.
Yeah.
And I just don't like if they were put there by the Sycorax, like why?
Well,
why?
They're not.
They're not.
Yeah, they're like, because the analogy they use are like the little pilot fish. So like you have the little dudes that follow around like the big predator, and they are their own agents. So like they are scouting out like, oh, there's alien tech here. I'm gonna take it and use it to fuel my ship. And then like the Sycorax come and they're just like, ah, Sycorax rock. So
that's my favorite part of the episode.
So they're like two completely separate entities that just happen to coincide with each other because
it's kind of like the Covenant from Halo.
That feels.
I guess I don't know. I've never played
feels
Halo,
way more
but
complicated than it should be.
Well, then the Covenant are, so like in Halo, you're fighting like the Covenant, but the Covenant are like 5 different kinds of aliens that are all teaming up to like destroy humans. So there's like little ones named grunts, and then there's like bigger ones called elites, and they're like totally different species, but they're like in an alliance.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a better analogy. Like you have the big
whale.
ship, and then like the scavengers that follow after it.
Yeah, or like how those barnacle things like live off of whales.
Yeah. They're
but they came first.
They're like the heralds.
Yeah.
But they're not connected to to the Sycorax.
No.
Okay. I don't like that. Is what I'm getting at. I don't like that there's two completely different plot lines happening in this.
Look, I mean, and I say this with all due respect, Russell T Davies wanted to have killer Santas and Christmas trees.
Right. So why not just make them the Sycorax instead of the Sycorax?
I totally agree with you. I think that just the Santas and the Christmas tree, as silly as they are, they're much more memorable than like the friggin' Army of Darkness rejects that like the Sycorax have done.
Right. Totally. And the Sycorax, they look like 7 other Russell T Davies Doctor Who characters that he comes up with later.
Which I guess is
they don't look that much different than the Spider Lady in the next Christmas special.
No. And I guess that kind of works because I guess you could argue that Christmas Invasion really isn't about the Sycorax because like once the Doctor's finally like awake and mobile, he like takes them out pretty easily. But it is a disappointment that like the villain is kind of like an afterthought.
Yeah, well, and it was just weird because it was like, oh, okay, so these Santas want the Doctor want the Doctor's regeneration
juice,
yeah, his excess juice, but the Sycorax just want the planet just to have the planet. So I was just like, I feel like if the Santas had just been like, okay, look, we want him and his regeneration.
We want your juice.
We want his regeneration juice. And if you don't like give him up and let us have him and his regeneration juice, then we're going to do the thing where we make the people jump. Like, I feel like that's not, I feel like that's cleaner. Totally. I don't know.
Like, give us the Doctor or we kill everyone with an A positive blood type.
Right. I feel like that's so much cleaner than what he gave us, which is, it just feels like very first draft to have two completely separate alien entities.
Yeah.
In the same, like,
I kind of
completely unconnected. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree with you, but I think I kind of like the fact that he's kind of setting up the whole like, oh yeah, aliens have been here before, and like the Earth like is making like a big racket or whatever, and like to have two completely separate alien threats in the same episode is messy, but it kind of underlines that.
Mm-hmm. Like the universe's hottest club is Earth.
It does. Yeah. However, I will counter what you say because I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I would counter which is that 2 is messy because it doesn't make the point clear. If they did 5, then it would be like, oh, I see what they're doing. You know?
Why?
Like if it was 5? Like 5 species. Oh. Like I just mean like a lot. Like where it's just like, okay, obviously this isn't an accident. Like there's 5 different species in here. They're obviously trying to say something with this.
It's kind of like
because it's only 2. Even 3 would be better than just 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say like why 5? Isn't the rule 3? Like
yeah, I mean it can be 3. I went to Cabin in the Woods in my head, so I was like, all of the aliens just show up.
Oh yeah.
What a great episode of Doctor Who that would be though, if like imagine like a midnight run where like the Doctor's in a coma, but like 5 different kinds of aliens are like, we want the Doctor so we can like suck out all of his juice and then we can regenerate. And then like it's up to like the companion to like keep the Doctor away from like the aliens and like get him to, is that an episode?
No, I'm going to cut that out of this so that when we take over the show, we can write that as our regeneration story.
Okay,
cool. Why are you ruining our dream job? Come on. Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. I want to know more about what species these Santas are. Like I want to know like what's their deal? How do they know to dress up as Father Christmas? Like what?
Are they the same as the Santas that attack the Doctor and Donna and the Runaway Bride? Or are those different Santas?
Oh, I don't know.
Are there Santas in that? I remember the trees.
Yeah, no, I think Santa's I think Santa's attacked Donna because I feel like Donna was like, "Oh, I'm about to get killed by Santa." I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember them being chased by something Christmassy, like a bunch of something Christmassy, and they were really scary looking. I remember being.
I feel like you're right. I think there's Santas too. I don't know. We'll find out.
I love that our
like
TV
17 months or
did
whatever.
2 episodes with invading Santas and never noticed.
Yeah. It would be cool if they were the same though. That would be interesting. Although it'd be weird because
Santas.
it would be weird because those Santas, I think, in the Donna episode were being like they were actually heralds. Like they were actually heralds.
Yeah, they
for
were like trying to
the
find
Spider Lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Hold on, I'm gonna Google Runaway Bride Santas.
All right. We also get our first mention of Torchwood in this episode, which is I really liked Russell T's tendency to pick rather than like having a big bad of the season, he would pick like a thematic phrase.
Yeah, like a code word.
Yeah, he would be like, okay, this is our code word for the season is Bad Wolf. Our code word for the season is Torchwood. Our code word for the season is Saxon.
It's almost like a predate of, he's almost kind of ahead of his time, because nowadays it's like hashtag, everything's connected, or hashtag save the cheerleader, save the world.
That's true. That's totally, well, okay, that was a bad example because that was around the same time as this.
Well, yeah, but...
But yeah, no, I think you're right. He was a little ahead of its time. And then the best part was like once we started catching on and expecting it, he was like, season 4, nothing, just Rose's face. That's ongoing thread. Is there not? Is there? What?
There's
what was the
in
phrase?
every episode. There's a planet that goes missing because then they have all the planets at the end.
Right. Good call.
Oh, okay, but not a phrase is what I'm saying. There's no like
it's.
Yeah, there's no. If anything, it was like hashtag shadow proclamation, I guess. But, but that's like the gist of it.
Okay, so Cassandra, Scott, at your leisure, I've included 2 links. The first link are the evil Santas from Runaway Bride, and the second link are the evil Santas from Christmas Invasion.
Oh God,
they are
the
very
Runaway
similar.
Bride. Yeah, the Runaway Bride ones are really creepy. I forgot. I think I blocked that from my memory because they're so scary.
Oh, I get. They probably are the same, right?
I like the idea of these aliens that are like super into Christmas, and they're like Christmas groupies, and they just come back every year and like wreak havoc, and then like.
But they
also love that they upgraded their image like between seasons.
Are we doing it right now, Christmas?
And their eyes are wider when they're saying it.
Christmas.
It's like Nightmare Before Christmas, but with aliens. Like,
they just don't get it.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
Poor aliens.
We love Christmas.
So my one of my favorite parts in this that
a child has been born.
One of my favorite parts of this is they're in Harriet Jones, Prime Minister, is in like their war room area or whatever, and the people start like walking away, like being hypnotized by the Sycorax dude, and they're all up on the roof, and then somebody goes, it's not just London, it's the whole world. And I was like, oh, here we go, like a sweet like series of clips of like all these people standing up on rooftops all over the world, right? And they literally show 2 places, and both of them are in Europe.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh,
what is it?
the
Like
whole
France
world.
and Rome, right? Like
Yeah, France and Rome. I was like, okay, so not the whole world, just Europe.
I love Russell T Davies' like ham-fisted Roland Emmerich style usage of like world politics. Whenever he does it in Doctor Who, it's always so dumb, but so like, remember in The End of Time when it was all centered around like, oh, Barack Obama's going to do a speech that's going to fix the world economy.
Yeah.
How crazy is it? That's how long Obama's been president.
Yeah.
Like, he was referenced in David Tennant's final episode. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's funny. I love because like they mentioned the president briefly in this one, and I'm like, oh, this is pre-Obama. This is like Bush days, and she's like, I don't want to start a war, and I was like, oh, mic drop.
Oh,
Like,
way to go, Sean's mom.
yeah.
Also, this is the beginning of the downfall of Rose as a character for me, is in this episode.
Okay, yeah, she kind of bellows out in this one. Like,
she just completely gives up.
When she thinks that they're like, oh, she left me, Mom, he left me. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Not my favorite. Yeah, Rose and 10, not good. Rose becomes really whiny, and also together they're like really annoyingly in love and think they're better than everyone else.
Scott, say it. They're horny.
That's not what I was trying to say. I just think that they feel like they're better than everyone else all the time. I don't know. Not a fan. But yeah, I think my favorite joke in this whole episode, though, so like there's this running gag where every time Harriet Jones enters a room, she introduces herself as Harriet Jones, Prime Minister, because in the World War III episodes, she introduced herself as Harriet Jones something. I forget what her title is in that.
Like chief of staff or like deputy.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I thought she wasn't. Yeah, anyway, so in this, she's introducing herself as Harriet Jones, Prime Minister, and then everyone is like, I know who you are, and they just keep doing that, and so they do it like 3 times, and by the 3rd time you're just like, okay, yeah, I get it. And I was like, God, Russell T, like, I think you thought this was way funnier than it actually is, and then when they get to her talking to the Sycorax and goes, Harriet Jones, Prime Minister, and the dude reads back the transcript and goes, we know who you are, I burst out laughing. And I was like, you got me, Russell T. You got me.
And that's not even the end of that joke.
I know.
Like, it keeps going, like, into her final, like, episodes.
Yeah, I know. But that, the joke with her being Prime Minister and thinking no one knows who she is, like, that's,
yeah.
Like, he got me because he broke the rule of 3 because he did it 3 times before that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it was over. And then he does it a 4th time and, like, brings it home. And I was like, oh, man, great joke. Great joke.
Yeah. There's a sort of camp to, I mean, we talked about this at length throughout the history of the show, but there really is, like, a certain camp in RTD's episodes that I miss.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, like, I like how interested Russell T Davies is in with, like, how the Doctor affects, like, blue collar England.
Yeah.
Like, I like that Rose is a shop girl and Mickey works in a garage and Jackie's, like, a little bit, like, in a loving way, but she's, like, a little bit trashy. You know, like, like, these are real, like middle class, lower middle class people that have to deal with this crazy, larger than life problem. And I kind of miss, I think we're losing that vibe in the show right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe Pearl will bring it back, you know, who knows?
Who's Pearl, Scott? Call her by her name.
I am Pearl Mackey. Until they win me over with that Bill name, I'm going to just call her Pearl Mackey.
Yeah. It's a kind of name you have to say both names. I like that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so I both like, I feel like the tea being used to wake up the Doctor from his regeneration coma is like some sort of metaphor for Russell T Davies' tenure as showrunner. It's like a metaphor because it's just like every single time there's a problem, he talks about like it's this huge problem, and he just spends the whole episode or whole season or whatever talking about how huge of a problem this is. It's going to be completely unsolvable, and then the last second he solves it by this ridiculous bullshit. Like, it's just like You know, like every single time, that's how he ends his story. And so, like, the idea that nothing can wake up the doctor, and then Mickey spills tea, and the tea wakes him up.
Like, well, the tea gets under his hair, and he's like,
yeah, I need to wake up and go wash this out.
No.
But it's an interesting metaphor for Russell T Davies as a writer, I think.
I love Tennant's. I kind of wish that he kept the Arthur Dent costume.
The pajamas?
Yeah. Well, but he kind of does, though.
That's true.
In a
he
way.
keeps the stripes, yeah.
He keeps the stripes and the robe.
The overcoat, yeah.
Yeah. He kind of does keep that outfit.
I like that both 9 and 10. Well, no, actually all of them. Never mind. I was going to say, I like how every doctor needs, like, layers.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have layers. Also, I mean, they shoot in England. I mean,
that's true.
Gotta have layers.
Your costume is going to be shorts and a tank top.
Oh, God.
No!
Yeah. So after the Ex Macha tea, 10 has his big entrance, and then the episode is like stellar all the way to the end. Like 10, he walks through the doors and he starts like shouting at the guy, and because he just wants to say hi to all of his friends, and he's interrupting him and he's getting frustrated, and he starts quoting the Lion King, and then calls himself out for quoting the Lion King, and like just everything that 10 does is just the best.
Yeah, and it really just rekindled my confirmation that, like, you know, 10 is always going to be like my doctor.
Yeah.
And I remember like this whole episode, because he doesn't really do a lot this episode. I was still totally watching this kind of like with my arms crossed back in the day, you know? Because I was like, you're not Eccleston. Like, you're different. And then as soon as he walks through the door, I was like, oh my God, you're the coolest grown up like I've ever seen.
To the point where he's so cool that Mickey is like quoting him like he just saw a badass movie.
Yeah.
Like
he's literally
like, oh my God, he's that cool that he even wins Mickey over, and Mickey
literally
hates the doctor. Yeah. Oh, that's really great. 10's great. I love 10.
It made me want to rewatch like all of his run.
Oh,
like straight up. I was like, okay, next episode, let's go.
Well, Cass, I've got news for you.
No, I know, but like, I mean, binge watch it like right now.
Oh no, I know. That trailer at the end. Oh,
yeah.
Oh man.
Did you guys watch that trailer at the end?
I did, yeah.
Oh man,
the little glimpse of K9.
Yes.
Oh my God, Sarah Jane showed up and I cried.
Yeah, they literally say, I'd like to introduce you to Sarah Jane Smith. I literally got goosebumps, and I'm like, I've seen that episode like 17 times. Why am I still getting goosebumps? This is so stupid.
Did you guys see that thing that I put on the Twitter about how they're making a Funko Pop thing of K9?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's really great.
Oh, by the way, I started watching that show, Jerks.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to listeners. So I popped in and I was like bored one day. It's like a month ago. And I was like, fine, I should watch you. And okay, so.
Oh man.
So it takes place in a weird, like imagine like a Fox Kids version of V for Vendetta. Like a weird, like.
I think you just sold me the DVD.
It's like
that's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Oh my God.
Like there's like utilitarian robot cops, and like there's VR, but they never explain when it takes place. And there's like these like teenagers that are like hackers, and so like the cops come to like catch. There's like this the protagonist is like this like whippersnapper, like thief kind of kid, and then this guy is like, I'm trying to bring my family back to life. And he opens a portal and then K9 comes out and he's like, what? Oh, and then he starts like shooting at he's like spinning in a circle, shooting lasers at all of the cops.
Oh my God.
And the kids are like, what's going on? The K9's like, effing run, get out of here, go. And then like they run out of the room and then K9's like, self-destructed, 3, 2. And the cops are like, what's happened? And then K9 blows up.
Oh my God.
He sacrifices himself.
He just suicide bombed the police.
He's like, the police! And he's like, blows up.
Oh my God.
And so like the kooky scientist and like the 3 youths like inch back into the room and they just see like the charred corpses of like these cops and like the remains of what was K9. And they're like, this little robot dog sacrificed himself to save us. And
I'm sorry, that might be my favorite sentence I've ever heard in my entire life.
Oh my God.
This little robot dog just sacrificed himself to save us.
And he knew them for like maybe like 20 seconds.
Oh my God.
Before he just like started shooting these cops. And so the scientist is like, man, I really feel like we owe it to him to like, I'm going to try and put him back together. So he like somehow like K9's like CPU was like unharmed. And so he, oh yeah, I remember. No, K9 regenerates.
What?
He regenerates into this new cool, quote, cool, shiny K9 that can fly.
How does he regenerate?
He just starts to regenerate. I mean, there's really no. He just becomes.
What does it look like?
It kind of it's like Time Lord juice, but it's like blue.
Oh.
And then he becomes this like the new K9. He can like float and zip around, and he's like, "Hello, I killed you. I killed people to help you. What's your name?" And they're like, I'm Professor Kooky, and these are my 3 friends. And he's like, I will follow you forever. And it's like I guess the concept of the show is this is actually like an alternate universe. And like they pulled K9 out of his universe and now he's like stuck there. And
that is nuts.
So yeah, so that's the first episode.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna get that sentence tattooed on my arm.
Little robot dog sacrificed himself to save us. Could have gotten a whole podcast of this stuff, but
oh man, wow, that's fantastic. Yeah, so Ash, I don't like that they're all treating the ash like it's snow. When
that's really creepy. When the doctor just like, it's not snow, it's ash.
And everybody's just like, Mickey's just like got his mouth open. And he's like, it's super gross and weird. And
I love that it's supposed to be ash, but then it's just it's bubbles because the BBC.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Oh, so Harriet Jones like executes the Sycorax.
Right, which is what the ash is.
He uses Torchwood activates like Starkiller Base. Mm-hmm. And, like,
the other thing that I think is interesting too is that she keeps mentioning Torchwood, and I have to keep reminding myself that it's not that Torchwood.
Yeah, it's like
because
OG
before him. It was before Jack and before the spin-off show. And then I'm like, oh, this is a different Torchwood. This is a whole other thing. And then I was like, then it makes me think like, it starts making me ask all these questions. Like, why isn't it just Unit? Why is Torchwood a separate entity from Unit? That doesn't make any sense. Also, the Torchwood spinoff is super weird. Why are they called Torchwood? Why aren't they called something else? Because they have no affiliation with the Torchwood that they're talking about. Guys, there's a lot of holes that I have questions about.
Okay, wait. So, Unit is the government, right?
Yeah.
Like
Unit's
Lethbridge.
Unit's like the fifth branch of the military. Like, it's
Right.
like, you have the Army, the Navy, the Marines, and then you have aliens. And
Right. And Unit is the alien guy.
And then Torchwood was like a private thing that was started by Queen Elizabeth I.
Victoria.
After Queen Victoria, she fought werewolves.
The way I took it was that Torchwood was like the equivalent of the like FBI or like the CIA, or which one was the secret one that the government like didn't even, they pretended it didn't exist for a little while.
Like the Men in Black?
Yes, the Men in Black. No, there was actually no. It was either, I think it was the CIA.
The CIA, I think.
Yeah. Because that was the one that was founded by J. Edgar Hoover to combat like the organized crime.
Right. So I think that the Unit is like the feds of aliens, and then Torchwood is the CIA of aliens. But I don't know what they both. What do each of them offer that's different? I guess.
I guess the way I see it in this episode is like Unit is like the CIA, but then Torchwood is like Treadstone. If you want to get into like the Bourne Identity verse, which I'm always game to, but it's like Torchwood is like off the books. We don't talk about it. They have zero jury. They have like absolute, like they can do whatever. But like if they're ever found out, like Harriet Jones will like disavow them.
I don't know.
Are they like Shield? Because Shield's not the government, right?
Shield was private. They weren't government.
So I think Torchwood is private.
Yeah.
Well, but they can't be private if they were started by the Queen.
Is the Queen beholden to Parliament?
She was when she started Torchwood.
Okay.
Because that was when the Queen actually ran the country.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know.
For UK listeners want to help us out.
I find the whole. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's an answer. Like, I'm sure there's an answer, but it's all made up anyway. So it's like, whatever. But it just doesn't. Yeah. It just feels like, it feels very messy to me. Where it's like, dude, if you wanted to do a spinoff, just do the spinoff and have this be Unit. Like,
well, that's not an anagram for Doctor Who, Scott.
Yeah. I'm not. I guess he wanted the mystery aspect too, so I don't know. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that's all we got on Doctor Who. I did have one thing that I wanted to talk about, which was that, so the Doctor picks out his outfit. I freaking love that closet with the spiral staircase.
There's a part where he's picking out his costume.
Right, which is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. I thought we were. Okay, so he's in the TARDIS.
No, I was like literally like, so he's picking out his costume on a spiral staircase, and you go, oh yeah, so there's this part where he's picking out his costume. I was like, yep, that's what I was talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna see if we have the same thing that we're gonna say.
Okay, go ahead. Oh no, you go ahead.
Oh, but there's a little Easter egg where so he's like in this like giant wardrobe, and one of the outfits he pulls out, it's like this kind of weird, like regal jacket, like this kind of like buttoned up, like red, like deep red jacket.
Oh, and the Sergeant Pepper's outfit that he holds up. Yeah,
that's apparently his costume from Casanova.
Oh, interesting.
That's cool.
Interesting.
That's a fun little Easter egg.
That is cool. No, actually, I was gonna say like he finds his outfit and puts it on. And it made me realize something about these scenes in Modern Who. The problem with these scenes in Modern Who is that we as viewers already know the outfit that he's going to pick because they've already released promotional material months ago because they have to, because anytime they shoot on location anywhere, people take spy pictures, and so they would rather get ahead of that and spoil what the outfit that they're going to be in first, so that at least they're professional pictures rather than spy photos. Mm-hmm. So like I understand why it happens, but I was just watching this and I was just thinking, it's a bummer that we will never have a doctor where we literally are watching the episode not knowing what his outfit is going to be at the end.
Yeah.
Like there's always an inevitability to the outfit that he puts on that I wish wasn't a thing.
It's sort of like an unfortunate product of like the nature of modern like advertising or marketing.
Right. And internet journalism.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why you like the secondary outfit so much.
Maybe.
Because you internalized it and you're like, I've never seen this one before. This is awesome.
That's true, because my two favorite tan outfits are the blue one with the red sneakers and the brown one with the blue stripes.
Yeah.
That he gets with Donna. Those are my two favorite ones. I'm not crazy about the just brown one because I think it looks a little bland.
What are your favorite 11 outfits?
Blue bow tie.
I do like the blue bow tie. That is nice.
I really like his outfit in like the Clara era.
I do too. And that's why I have trouble. But my trouble comes with the fact that those two outfits are so vastly different that it's hard to even it's a whole other problem for me with 11 because I feel like, because as much as I love that second outfit, I feel like it's too different.
The one with the top hat?
No. The one that he wore when he regenerated. Like the kind of like purpley with the vest and the tie.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I blocked that from my memory.
Yeah.
Remember his
I like that. I do like that
outfit?
outfit a lot, but I don't know. There's something iconic about his first one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That could possibly be a thing, Cass. I don't know. It's just I don't like that we get spoiled, like because even in I mean we'll talk about it next week, but even in 11th Hour, man, like it's such a like fist pump moment when you see him in the costume for the first time.
When he steps out of 10's hologram.
Yeah, it's such a fist pump moment, and it's slightly spoiled by the fact that I have already seen what this guy looks like in his costume.
Although we did remember that weird first photo we got of 11 where he was wearing like a leather jacket and like a black t-shirt.
Oh yeah, like his headshot or something.
Right. Yeah, it was his headshot. Yeah. But there was like a TARDIS.
No, because he was next to a TARDIS, so it wasn't like a headshot. But
I don't know. I just imagine him like standing there like next to a street lamp or something. Like because he has the leather jacket and his arms are crossed or whatever. And
yeah. I remember when everyone thought that was the Doctor's new outfit.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, and to the point where T-shirts were made, like those daily T-shirt sites or whatever would make shirts with him in that outfit on the shirt, and now those are ridiculous. Like those shirts exist and they're ridiculous because
That'd
it's
be
like
cool
he
to have,
never.
Though, and be like.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
it'd be
some
like
alternate universe Doctor.
It'd be like Revenge of the Jedi, like the people that have the Revenge of the Jedi
or the
stuff.
My cousin has he keeps it like wrapped up, but he showed it to me once. He has a Spider-Man poster where you can see the World Trade Center reflected on Spider-Man's like eye.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And that World Trade Center teaser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like so unfortunate because it's like one of the best superhero teasers ever.
Mm-hmm. Where it's like in a helicopter.
Right. He catches the helicopter between the World Trade Center towers, like in a web. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's great. Great teaser trailer.
A lot better than the Mirror's Edge thing we got with Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh God, I had blocked that out. Wow, man. So that's it. That's all we got, I think. Any closing thoughts on the Christmas Invasion, guys?
I don't know. Like, cause I started with Eccleston, but like David Tennant like is my doctor. Cause I didn't really like Eccleston until like halfway through his season, and then he was gone.
Right.
And then like this was my first regeneration story ever, so I had no idea what was happening. I was like, okay, I know that he turns into David Tennant somehow, but okay. So it was kind of cool like revisiting this and like watching like that whole like companion struggling with the doctor regenerating thing. And it's like, oh man, I remember that. Like, and man, I love David Tennant so much.
Yeah, I mean, I think all three of us, like, he's our doctor.
Yeah.
And it's just, and it sucks because Big Finish, I think in like 2 weeks, Big Finish is releasing their 10th Doctor and Donna season.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I want to listen to it, but also we're going to end up having to cover it on this show eventually. And so I'm like, should I wait or should I listen? I don't know.
Oh, that'll be like 3 years from now.
I guess that's true. Probably longer. But I'm pumped. I'm really pumped.
When do okay, so they're doing that. Are they doing War Doctor stuff?
Yeah, they just released, I think, the second season of the War Doctor stories.
Damn, are they good? Have you listened to them?
I haven't listened to them yet. I'm saving them for this.
Oh.
Yeah. Because the War Doctor stories are gonna replace the Ninth Doctor when we quickly run out of Ninth Doctor stories.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
What
does that mean? Is that when we'll watch Day of the Doctor?
No.
When are we going to watch Day of the Doctor?
When it comes up in the 11th Doctor's season.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's from his perspective. It's his story.
Sure.
So like that's happening, and then they also started unit seasons that take place in the modern Moffat unit.
Sure, with like with Kara Stewart and
right. And they're all, and what's her name? The
Osgood twins.
The Osgood twins. Yeah. So
talk about obnoxious names.
That's interesting. And then the Eighth Doctor just finished his. Let me think. 1, 2, 3. His fourth series set. And now he's starting his fifth and final series set, which is Doctor Who: The Time War.
Dude.
Yeah. So he's starting his last set of stories leading up to Night of the Doctor, his regeneration story. So it's pretty sweet.
And then he can finally quit.
It's a good time to be a Doctor Who fan with Big Finish because they've started getting the new Who stuff, and it's really cool. I really, 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 really want them to get Eccleston. I really hope they get him at some point. I mean, they come on, dude. Like, you show up in your pajamas, you record for a couple of hours, and then you literally don't have to go back for a year. Like, a year.
It's weird how much he doesn't want to go back.
It is weird.
It's especially considering the stuff that he does do, like the G.I. Joe movie.
Yeah,
and
I think we'll get Matt Smith eventually, but I think that's probably still like 3 or 4 years, maybe even 5 years from now.
Yeah, it's too soon.
Well, he's busy being Skynet.
No, he's not. So like 10th Doctor is my doctor, and I'm excited to revisit his stuff, even the episodes I don't like very much. But it's gonna be fun. But we've only got one more new Who story, the 11th Hour, which I'm actually like pumped to revisit.
Yeah.
Oh, me too. I'm so excited.
Yeah. Okay, well, we will see you next week with the 11th hour.